Yeah, welcome to the poetry section of the AGM, which we hastily added because Charles Walker couldn't come and speak to us, but I'm really pleased about that. I run the online poetry group, which we started at the beginning of the lockdown, and we've met every Friday, sometimes with my able assistant and compadre Jason in the chair, and I think he's out there in Zoom land, and he's going to be running the poetry group today because it starts at 1 o'clock-ish, coinciding with that. But no, it's been really interesting, and people from all over Hertfordshire are joining us. And I started a Facebook group called Hertfordshire Poetry Online, and we've got over 160 members now. So people are, you know, there's a lot of people who might not want to perform poetry, maybe don't want to write it, but they enjoy reading it and hearing it and you know and looking for it. So I'm hoping that this tablet is going to load my poem. I think it's arrived now. Yeah, so do come and join us on Friday afternoon. And I'm also going to do a little plug for Herts County Council. Have been supporting a group called Poetry is Healing, and we meet monthly at Welling Garden Library. And some of those people who joined Viewpoint Poetry Group have now come to join in with that. So that's been a good piece of partnership working. So here's a poem I wrote in December, and it's called December. Lastly comes ancient December, the youngest month, cold sun low to the eye. As I walk the ridges at this bleak time, I gain insight into the struggles of the people of the past. The sun on its journey around the earth at its furthest point, the turning. Marvel at its absolute predictability and the doubleness, as the sublime mystery of the winter solstice is also beyond measure. A miracle then of scientific precision and the profound wonder of rebirth. Even the arcane hermit understands that we face the future together. The triumph and rebirth of the true ruler, the Oak King, his crown assured. In these days of compressed coldness, days lengthening at the turning of the dark wheel of the year, I witnessed the demise of the holly throne. In dark evenings under the moon, the people once gathered the mistletoe. It's a time when hibernation calls us to sleep. But before we slumber, let us consult the arcana. Removing them from the folded cloth, she spreads the deck of the tarot before the fire across the oak trestle. The bright cards shine. First comes the nomadic fool, the eye card. Second, the magician. He is called Omnicron, who comes to reap in this age. The time of the sacrifice of the youth for the digital, the artifice of the enframing, technology, the capture of souls in enchantment. A third falls, the excessive control of the emperor. Reality is created in language, sent out from the eye of the pyramid. Abracadabra, a logic the magician understands. The fool, like myself, waving a pig's bladder on a stick, a black star above his shoulder, just smiles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Hi, hello Andy, thanks for your poem, and thanks everybody for the great work you do for the community at large. It's definitely helped me during lockdown, so I'll jump straight in. The first piece I have to read is a little biographical piece called Freedom. As a youth, socialite Russell was part of the scene, chatting bullshit, but rolling the green, very long hair that wasn't that clean, felt so mature, but was just a teen, drank from the bottle, and in his mind's eye, his glass overfilled and can never run dry. So he filled it up with mushroom tea and drank so much he could only see what others couldn't. And that was great. To mushroom land he would migrate. In his 20s, Mushroom King met Queen of Shroom. They huddled up inside a room. The room was wild with walls that flowed. The universe's secrets showed us fractal lights that locked and unlocked the mysteries of the eternity clock. His glass was full just more than half. When he drank some, she would top it up and laugh. But all was not quite as it seemed, which should have seemed obvious considering the volumes of mind-altering chemicals at play. In his 30s came the irritability, frustration, short-temperedness, vexation, and gradual decline into vehement, loving hatred of his queen and growing pulsating anger at his god, who had clearly made him incapable of reason when the shit hit the fan, who had clearly made him incapable of lasting endeavour due to always seeking the shortcuts in life that perpetually left him jaded, disappointed, and with a glass most clearly half full. Not only that, but unfillable, like having a glass half full of malt whiskey and with a leak in a time of prohibition. In his 40s, he sat glass half full of semi-skimmed lactose-free milk. He had no care. He had not a care. He had not a care in the world. He'd survived. The anger had dissipated. His glass half full, and that was perfectly good enough. Freedom is not a place we can go to, but it is a place we can find. And secondly, many live lives unsatisfied, ungratified on this island. We cannot buy land and live by hand to mouth. It's such a touching scenario, but it's not just here. It's the same in Ontario. In fact, if we listen to the world, we'd have sorrow in stereo or gigaphonic sound, and many factors compound the difficulties faced by the human race. We look for embrace, but may find we're replaced, disgraced, defaced by prejudice, violence, supremacists. It's tireless. If only someone could hire us to be ourselves, require us to use our skills. Instead, we're robots in a futuristic mills of data transfer. It's no wonder that many prefer to dream that somehow there may occur a scheme to start afresh in a new place one day. Gangs had never really been Lee's thing, but she found a fan which watched her back. Tough connections with serious strings, then she's toting ching and crack and smack. Pastor Trey spoke some radical sense that caused her hence to head for church, where she found something, felt enlightened, that led her search for new horizon. Caleb's mum worked all the hours for food and bills and not a thing more. It seemed like she had superpowers, but London devours the breadline poor. Caleb studies as hard as he can, so when a man he'll lighten mum's load. Weekends, he's up late to revise and aiming straight for a new horizon. Sam had grown up in an old hat down of old hat ways and thoughts and views. Some considered him a kind of clown as they laughed or frowned at his style of shoes. To his friends, he could not quite explain what felt so plain and so true inside. Gender freed, Sam set off for Brighton and searching for their new horizon. The UK state considered checkmate and rashly grabbed at a foolish deal. The democratic people's mandate was to cease debate and stop the steal. For some, the intent was to close ranks, to say no thanks to a smaller world. Others' outlooks had sought to widen our view toward a new horizon. 2-inch dram for breakfast starter course and revive the zoot that's in the tray. Some said source of all Tim's woes was sauce. He could never force himself to say he needed help until came that leap of faith to sweep his pains to the past. Time for Bill and Bob to lighten his mood toward the new horizon. Silent fear accompanied Kim's day, bruised up rough and tumble biker chick. Colleagues thought she must like it that way. She would surely say if scared of Rick, but the miscarriage helped her to see whate'er his plea, she must now depart, no more to endure being frightened. Time now to seek a new horizon. So many may be the reasons why we validate our despondency. We give up before we even try, then call it fate because we can't see. Our goal in life is to find the test, which only we as ourselves may pass. Though passing is not the point of the quest, the attempt is by which we prove our class. Search for that thing by which you can feel a calling in which to make your mark. Recognition is not an ideal. True success is in feeling your spark. Know you're alive through interaction with the universe that's housed you here, and find yourself some intervention to show intention and make it clear. Do not search pleasure, but contentment. Till investment results in true joy, and one day reservation dies and you'll smile toward a new horizon to start afresh in a new place one day or in a new state of being. Locality is often a technicality. To escape the boundaries and preconceptions, the quandaries and misdirections that had us trapped, that sapped our energy, wiped our memory, dreams to never be, but we'll forever see in others the ability to overcome fragility and find the volatility to change and say no, to grow, be more rounded, more grounded, unique able to speak, up for critique when it's constructive, but resistant to cliques that are not productive. We are not numbers, we are people. Whatever holds you back, use it to strengthen your resolve till you solve the enigma of incapacity to feed the vivacity of true humanity. Discover the sanity of your functionality so originality becomes your certainty. Do not be subdued inadvertently. Whatever holds you back, there is a way forward. Sometimes physical, sometimes mental, at all times spiritual. Life can be difficult. Life is a test. Scope your horizon and try your best. And permit me, my friend, one final line. To fail is infinitely more successful than to decline.
Thank you all for having me. I feel most honoured. This poem which I'm about to do is called the Skjaldungangen, and the word comes from Beowulf, the Anglo-Saxon poem. The word is only used once in the poem, and I trawled through Beowulf carefully to see what other references there were indirectly to the shadow goer. The word, by the way, occurs nowhere else in Anglo-Saxon literature, so we only have, or writing, so we only have one single word, one single use of this word from Anglo-Saxon times. So it's used to refer to the monster Grendel, but it also has qualities within itself which you can infer from trawling through the poem. And so I've constructed a poem around this one word, set in Anglo-Saxon times. So here we go. Came shadows through, grey night striding, through the darkwood forest gliding, formless shapes their outlines hiding, silent Skjaldungangen. What manner of beast, alive or dead, they dwell in forests of dark dread? On brave shield maidens be they fed, the swift Skjaldungangen. On shadow, dark, gloomy, grey nights without a form, these beastly wights going about their silent rites, elf or Skjaldungangen. But who have seen them in the face, or chasing prey at their fast pace, or in their nests, in their full grace? The Skjaldungangen. Only brave men with charm showing, on their tunics, pouches sewing, spells and galdors to their knowing, risk Skjaldungangen. Distant sounds of branches snapping, pitter, patter, stealthily tapping, slowly riverine spirit sapping, go Skjaldungangen. Who dares to go at dark of moon, with shadows shifting into doom, guarded with that sacred rune, the spell-casting Ganga. Swiftly moving, gliding shadows, speeding faster than thine arrows, seeking the unguarded hallows. Come, Skjaldungangen, in shadow spirits come and go, hell's cold dark demons from below, as they do reach, so shall they sow. Come, Skjaldungangen, at deepest dark of night they meet, shades of black so fast and fleet. Beware that they do not meet. Hungry Skjaldungangen.
Thank you.
Any others? I just want to redress the balance, because you might think it's all men in the poetry group, but we put out a call to, there's quite a few women, and this is a nice little poem by Cecile in the group about her friend Martin. I rather like this. My friend Martin is ever so clever. Where I see stars, he knows suns. He can list all their names, even the distant ones. Cars Borealis, Alberia, Hadar, they are ever so far. My friend Martin is a great painter. He creates true works of art. They are such amazing pictures. and they all come from the heart. My friend Martin has so many books on shelves fastened tightly to the wall for the sake of safety, because they are so heavy with knowledge. He has read them all. My friend Martin has a brilliant mind. Best of all, he's so very kind. He listens when you say times are bad. He tries to cheer you up when you are sad. I will be glad right to my life's end that I have Martin as a good friend.